Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. We're back today for part 34, and after a season of unexpected triumph, particularly in terms of our National League debut, it is starting to get a little squeaky at the top. We dropped to third place with a game in hand. We've weirdly started getting loads of postponements this year. It must have been a bad winter in England. But today, with just a little light drizzle and 11 degrees Celsius the temperature, we face Notts County, one of the title rivals, in a crucial National League game. Due to postponements, we also then face Spennymoor in the midweek, as we've just got everyone back to fitness thanks to the break. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on, and whether there's any more interest from other clubs in jobs today, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from two long-term stories. You can find the Hemel Hempstead Save in the Eye above, where I think it's fair to say the scraps at the other end of the table. But a massive thank you for your support as always. Let's very quickly start by getting something else out the way, which is that Cheltenham interest being the favourite for the job. The media speculation led to nothing. In terms of England at the moment, there's not really many jobs about. You can see in the National League there's one with Oldham, but that's a drop down at the moment. I genuinely believe if we keep everyone fit, we've got a chance at the title. So why would I push away from here at the moment unless it's a big Football League club? We're also, of course, still in a non-league transfer window. Not a lot happening, but couple of concerns. Johannes Hoffer and James Bibbo, two of the good young attacking players at the club, have both left on a free. James Bibbo went to Peterborough. He's gone, not the best finisher. He wasn't going to be our star now, but he's been offered 900 quid a week. He can't turn that down. The more frustrating one is Johannes Hoffer, because he was an active part of the first team squad. He's now moved to Luton Town, where he's getting £2,000 a week. Again, you don't blame him, but someone in the squad we really could have done with. So we're a little bit light up front. We also had some drama around Nathan McKenna in the end of January. He was recalled by Portsmouth. I think they had a little injury crisis. I was following the situation quite closely. They signed a couple more after that, and then the director of football got him back on the EFL transfer window deadline. So he's back with us now, but he did miss a couple of games, and you'll see in a minute it did have an impact. If we go back to the transfer centre, there is a bid going in for a striker on loan. Daniel Carnu was the one the director of football's chasing. He's a good striker, he's a good finisher, but Hoffer was playing mainly off the right, and I feel that that's going to give us a little less versatility than we previously had. I'm not sure how long ago that offer went in. I think it was quite a while ago. It was there, Friday the 6th, over a week ago. Kevin Wilkin went in for Carnu, so a little worried that that's not been done yet either. Basically, this episode is a lot of little worries. If we have a look at the finances, I mean, it's flying since the Leicester game, isn't it? What a moment for the football club. The income itself has made a huge difference to the club, and the gate receipts is now, over half of our bank balance? It's astounding, really, isn't it? Let's have a look at the schedule though to see how it's been going. Only a few games off camera in the end due to the various postponements. What it does mean is it ruins. We had a perfect schedule this month, just one fixture every Saturday. And now, yes, we've had 2 weeks off, but we're not going to be able to keep everyone match fit. So, you were with me for Leicester and Stevenage, two pretty decent performances in the circumstances. We then lost in extra time to Aldershot in the FA Trophy, played a complete reserve side, tried to throw it. Bailey Elam scored a brilliant goal, but we couldn't quite hang on. We beat Borehamwood 2-1, the bottom side in the league. We relied on a late Adabomi goal after Everett had opened the scoring. Wasn't a vintage performance by any means. Then, Nathan McKenna got recalled. And we had a few injuries, and we lost at home to Dagenham and Redbridge. 90th minute winner, we went and chased the game, and in hindsight, maybe a mistake. Johannes Hoffer's last goal for the club before he left to Luton Town. Against Yeovil, we did bounce back in style. We had pretty much everyone fit, although McKenna hadn't yet joined. And it was Adabomi with 2, Bramble with a penalty, and Kadua who made it a comfortable 4-0 victory. So it's very tight at the top. In this episode, we're playing Notts County. Last 2 games of the season, Crawley, who are currently top of the league, and Harrogate Town, who are currently 6th and in the playoffs. So it's going to be one hell of a finish and one hell of an episode today. But we have got a pretty good run of fixtures in between. Let's see how it pans out though as we go to face the second place side. 2nd v 3rd. We struggled a little against them earlier in the season. They were one of the few sides that were able to blow us away in terms of quality as well as goals scored. But the problem we've got is that they've got a lot of injuries. So there's expectation on us now. Let's have a look at the state of fitness in the squad. It should be very good after 2 weeks off. Will Andy Appan back from injury? Recommended 75 minutes. I think we're going to play him today and then rest him in midweek. That means Sweeney will drop to the bench. Have we got any attacking players left? McKenna will come in for Bramble. And I think our bench, because of Hoffa going, is getting more and more defensive. It's going to be two defenders in Cowan and Sweeney. Noon in midfield, a little bit less fit than he was a few months ago. And then Bramble and Harvey Nibbs. I think Adabomi's the informed striker. Nibbs has had a really poor few games. Can't remember the last time he scored, actually. So, let's go and do our classic chat. In fact, we'll do that before the midweek game because he'll probably have to start that. So our 11 in full for today is Matthew Hall between the sticks, Banks and Andy Appan the fullbacks with Pakpe alongside Ness as centre-half. Hansen, Haynes and McKenna finally reunited as the midfield three. We've now lost all of the previous ratings for McKenna, which makes it a lot harder to judge. But Kadua, Everett and Adabomi the front three. Kadua and Everett did stay after the EFL transfer window. No really big offers coming in. And in fact for Kadua, none at all after the last episode. So let's go and get into it, see if we can stay in form. But this is one hell of a test. And ultimately, we'll decide whether it's playoffs or title for us. Well, the two players in from the emphatic win against Yeovil are Andy Appan and McKenna, and they are massive upgrades to the squad. We know this Notts County side is good. The likes of Ed Francis, Buckley Ricketts, there's so much talent about. But let's go and get into this one, shall we? It's going to be a very important game for our season. We're going to ask the lads to carry on what they did last time. Not really a reaction, apart from the keeper and strikers. But I don't want to waste up my individual chats on this. Let's get into the first half away at Meadow Lane. Should be a very big crowd. Should be a very good game. Well, first quarter of the game, no highlights seen, but Notts County dominating the stats. So I've just dropped a balanced mentality for now. Try and stay in the game till half time. Try and keep a fitness advantage too. Lucas Ness is getting asked to close people down, but we're not going to do that just yet. Let's see how this throw works out. 38 minutes on the clock. Notts County getting their first chance that we're going to see. McGovern from the right into Francis. Playing in a more advanced role. Used to be a centre-half for me back in FM18. As Gordon gets it into Francis again. Up to Mundell Smith, to Buckley Ricketts, to Harrott. Oh, maybe he should have closed him down. 21 goals for the season. Buckley Ricketts sets it up. It's brilliant from the two of them. And we just aren't quite good enough for Notts County on the day. What we've got to hedge our bets on is being more consistent over the rest of the season. And to be fair, I wouldn't rule that out based on what we've seen so far. So we're going to tell the lads to keep doing well. The fact that they're getting praised at 1-0 down shows you how little they're expected to achieve here. Notts County playing us off the park at the minute. Let's hope we can get a late reaction. As we've got a throw on the right with Banks. 10 minutes gone in the second period. Back to Haynes, who probably one of those star men where we're looking for something special. As the cross from Banks comes to the back stick, Everett heads over. And I'm afraid it remains 1-0. We couldn't quite take advantage that time. And now we're watching highlights up the other end as Burgess puts in a free kick for Notts County. Over the bar, Francis not able to make much of that. But it is a difficult position now. Do we rest people for midweek and try and be consistent? Or do we try and chase this game? I think we're going to go for Harvey Nibbs first. He will replace Everett. And onto the left-hand side, we'll move Adabomi. We've done that plenty of times. On the right wing, I haven't really got an option now. That's the problem. So I'm going to take off Andy Appan, who's made his comeback. He got 66 minutes. And we're going to bring on TJ Bramble for Nathan McKenna, who's making his first appearance back. We'll get into the final quarter of the game. We really have got to put up a scrap. Maybe the fresh legs can make a difference. But 1-0's not a disaster. We've got a corner kick with Haynes. Always a chance from set pieces with the height we've got. Ness can't win that one though. To Haynes. On the right-hand side, that's a poor pass. Don't often say that from him. Fair play to him. He's harrying to try and win it back, but he doesn't get there. And it releases Buckley Ricketts. Harrott. Inside again. Bramble nicks it. The fresh legs. Got nobody ahead of him. We're so deep for some reason. Kadua goes down the right though. He's got pressure. Goes back to Haynes and Bramble. Out on the right-hand side is Kadua. He's got an overlap from Banks. Kadua's running again, but he's got men in the box. Kadua's one of them. Back to Banks again, and we go back out to 30 yards as Haynes plays right. We just cannot get that breakthrough. Banks beats his man, though. Can he deliver the cross? He does! Harvey Nibbs is up. He might be in poor form. He might have needed the individual chat in my book, but it doesn't matter. 20th goal of the season. He hasn't scored in ages. Hadn't scored since before that Leicester Cup tie. But he glances a header into the far corner. And we look fitter. We look like that 2-week rest has helped us. Adabomi gives it to Haynes. Gen gives the ball away. What's going on with Haynes today? Seen him misplace a lot of passes in the final third. Falls for Sweeney on the left though. It's back to Pakpe. Down the line to Adabomi. He cuts it inside to Sweeney. Goes over the top. TJ Bramble's in. What an impact this would be. Gets forced wide though. Goes back to Adabomi. His shot's into the corner. You could argue that Nibs was maybe running across the keeper's line in an offside position. But what a turnaround that is. Did anyone see that coming based on the first 70 minutes? Because I certainly didn't. And we're on the front foot again. We smell blood here. We've got the extra fitness. We've got the extra rest. And we have got a strong squad. As Bramble gets it on the left into the back post. Gideon Kadua's up. And he has missed one that, to be honest, looks a lot easier to score. It's still 2-1 to Dover. How many minutes stoppage time are there? I'm going to go balanced before we find out. 3 minutes added on. Let's see what we can do. Can we hold on? I think we're going to do it. Notts County 1, Dover Athletic 2. That is massive. And it is very undeserved. What a performance that is. We proved wrong everyone who tried to write us off. Now let's see, in a home game that we should be winning, whether we can back up that very good result. Fitness test time, and we should be able to keep up Andy Appan's return to form today. But just behind my head at the bottom, not the perfect replacement, but a replacement nonetheless. Daniel Kanu is now in to cover Johannes Hoffer's position. 2-star ability striker with 5-star potential. Slightly excessive wage for the player he is, but let's be fair, we're late in the season. We don't want to kill the momentum. And Kevin Wilkin has got in a decent player. Let's not complain. And the fan reaction's similar to mine. Just a solid backup on loan. So Kanu certainly got the pace, the composure, the finishing. And he has got a good first touch. It's actually a very good poacher and advance forward. So maybe he will suit us better than we think. But will mean we'll have to juggle the other players like Adabomi and Nibs and use them in wide positions more often. I just hope that doesn't hinder their form. But we are in a good shape. The issue is, I don't know if you remember a game this time last season. We played Wealdstone to go top of the National League South. We did it. We were brilliant. And then we bottled it with a 0-0 at home to Chippenham the game after. I'm just hoping the same doesn't happen here. There are a few jobs just starting to come up again now. Likes of Bromley in League 2, Bristol Rovers in League 1. I'll be interested to see if there's any mentioning of us along the lines there. But they're two clubs in the relegation zone that probably aren't the ideal ones to take over. So let's go and get into the Spennymoor game, rearranged from last weekend, aside scrapping for their lives at the bottom of the table. Are they going to be able to put up a fight against us? Are they going to be able to frustrate us? It's something we've seen before. Now let's see how strong our side is that we can put out. I'm hoping most of these will be fit because we had a 2-week break before, but are there going to be a few tired legs? There certainly are. Wow, lots of them. You wouldn't have thought they'd had a fortnight off, would you? Let's go and pick the team. We'll be back in a minute. I appreciate ahead of time this is a massive risk, but I'm going to rest nearly everyone. So we've gone for a fully fit 11. I believe that our squad is good enough to beat them, and I just want to make sure we've got everyone on the pitch who can last the 90. We've also decided to drop a few out of the squad and give a chance on the bench for Kanu, the new signing, for McCarthy and Williams, 2 of the fringe players, and give Ness and Pakpe and Haynes a complete rest. We did think that Haynes didn't look himself at the weekend. What it does mean is there's a bit of a gamble in the team. Cowan comes in and plays at centre-half. Harry Noon's in the middle. Not sure which way round they're better. Doesn't make much difference. And Harvey Nibs is going to get a go on the right wing. But our 11 for today is very much changed. Let's go and have a look actually at how many it is in total. It is Daniel Kanu getting a squad number first. And then 5 changes. Ness, Pakpe, Kadua, Haynes, Hansen. 5 superstars out. Bramble, Nibs, Noon, Sweeney and Cowan, the 5 that come in. I guess the positives, 4 of them were regular starters last year and 1 of them's a solid loan addition. Should be still good enough to beat Spennymoor. Let's go and find out. Well, here we go into the dressing room. We've asked the lads to impress us. We've got a couple motivated again. Didn't start the game quite so well against Notts County, but against a different tactic, against a much lower opposition, we should be able to get a positive start. Let's try and make an impact. We've got shots on goal already, but nothing that we're seeing a highlight of. After the scarring last season I talked about a minute ago, we could do with an early goal. As Everett goes back to Banks, very inverted for a fullback there. Banks loses the ball, but he does manage to win it back immediately to Noon. Out to Harvey Nibs. Got Adabomi running off him. Instead he's challenged. I tell you what, they're fighting hard, Spennymoor. They're very determined to get stuck into the sliding challenges. Noon on the right hand side to Banks, into McKenna, heads over the bar. Not the sort of chances we can afford to miss. 12 minutes gone, 0-0. You feel it's a matter of time, but we've said this sort of thing before. As it's a Spennymoor free kick into the box, we've lost a lot of height from the team, and that one's headed over. A little bit of concern there. I know that we've got the likes of Andy Appan tucked in and shorter fullbacks, but still, you would expect us to defend them better, as Everett's free kick is well saved by the keeper. We've got a corner kick with a quarter of the game gone. Outswinging delivery from Everett into the front post, and Yango flicks it away. He was a star for us at Ballymena last season on Twitch, wasn't he? Back to Noon on the edge, out to Adabomi. Cleared away. It's just no real quality. It's bobbling around in there. We're creating half chances. We don't look like we've got cutting edge, though Everett's got another corner into the front post. We've lost out again. Here's Noon on the edge. He goes right to Everett on his weaker side into Adabomi. The offside flag stays down. The linesman runs back to halfway. And Ola Adabomi, what form he's in. Ever since he signed that contract to stay here permanently, he has been a different man altogether. Improving quickly, looking like a superstar, and gives us a 1-0 lead. Can we back it up now? Everett with a free kick. We're losing a lot of those aerial duels in the middle today. Not something we often say about our side. Noon back to Banks on the edge though. Can we do it from open play? Falls for McKenna. Oh, what a return that is. It was so important that he came back. And it was brilliant when we saw the offer go in. And what a curling effort that is. Right into the top corner. And with half of this team completely rested, we're able to go 2-0 up. As Everett delivers a corner. We win ahead of that time. Nibs hits the post. Adabomi back to Sweeney. He hits the woodwork too. We're running riot here. Spennymoor haven't really had a threat at all. One set piece they've put into the box. They are obviously a big side. But at half time, Dover are going to lead 2-0 unless we can make something of this. McKenna wide to Sweeney. Options down the line. Everett's one of them. He's got two running off him. Instead does his usual trick to the byline. Gets the cross into the back post. Harvey Nibs is up. And it goes just wide. I guess that is the benefit, isn't it? Of having both of the strikers on the pitch at the same time. You do get those opportunities to create chances. It's 2-0 at the break. It should be more. We've got to make sure we don't relent here. We don't let this lead slip. As within a minute of the first half, we win a free kick. Everett will take it. 25 yards out. Lovely angle. Hits the woodwork again. Utterly ridiculous. We've hit it 3 or 4 times already. And it's out for a throw on the right-hand side. But good to see the second half starting in the same vein. Good to see us looking to dominate again. We might have to think about changes soon. Rest a few of those first teamers still in. And hopefully it won't come back to harm us. But we've got an injury for Jaden Sweeney. It's a tight groin. Do I take the risk? I was going to take off Andy Appan for a rest, but can I be without both of them at the weekend? I can't. I'm going to take Andy Appan off for Williams, because it's now more important that he's fit after that. I'm also going to take off Ola Adabomi. He's going to be replaced by Daniel Kanu. I just want to rest a couple, really. McKenna will get one in 5 or 10 minutes, but I just want to see the game out for 5 more minutes first. It's important we rest stars, though. It's a corner kick. Oh, dear. Almost one back for Spennymoor. I thought it was in truth. We look so vulnerable from set pieces. I don't think we've ever been a shorter or less imposing side this season. It's certainly the case here. As Eric gets the ball into Jarvis, those subs have given them a little bit of confidence, haven't they? Jarvis hits an absolute rocket. And now the fresh legs are an essential. McCarthy comes on, and I might have made a mistake here. I thought the game was won at 2-0 because we were so dominant. I'm going to ask the lads to focus, but we're going to need more. Oh, no. It's all going wrong again. TJ Bramble will go out to right back. Every time we win a game to go top of the league, it goes wrong. I told you. I said this after the Wilston game last year, and it all went wrong against Chippenham. And now we're with 10 men clinging on in a game where we should have been home and hosed. We're going to drop to balanced. We're going to get the fullbacks and midfielders back. And we're going to play a classic old school 4-4-1 and just hope it's enough. We've got a free kick 30 yards out with McCarthy. Wouldn't mind a special goal there. Has that been saved? I think it has. I was going to lament the woodwork for the 5th time, as it's a corner kick for Everett. We could really do with nicking one here. Normally this is how we've won the games where we've been outplayed, but we just haven't got that threat in this game. Spennymoor are brilliant from set pieces, as McCarthy's got another free kick 30 yards out. That'll do! Very rarely gets a game now, but Jake McCarthy has turned up, and in the most crucial moment, he has wrapped up a victory. That is so important. What we're going to do now is just time waste our backsides off. It's not pretty, it's not exciting, it's not something we often have to do with this Dover side, but at the moment, I don't want to get caught out. So we're dropping a defensive line, we're dropping the attacking lines, and we're just going to make this game very, very slow. Might even save a few legs for the weekend too. As it's a free kick for Spennymoor. Might not be over yet. Great save, Matthew Hall onto the woodwork. Cowan clears it as far as the taker. Midgley into Avero. Good block again by Williams this time. Still going. And it's back out again. But they do not look like they want this to be over. And Spennymoor, I tell you what, as well as the set piece threat, they're going from distance and they're either scoring or going close every time. As Bilham throws in from the left. Bagley back to Eric. He gets it in the middle, goes long downfield. Cowan wins a header, but it's not really clear. And Jarvis goes wide to Bilham. Through ball, which is intercepted by Bramble. And Cowan mops up. Hall goes long. Can we keep them at bay? Because at the moment, we're just giving them possession back a little bit too often for my liking. Considering the players we've got on, you wouldn't expect that. As Bramble gets it into Nibs. I think it shows how important that pivot is in holding midfield. And how unfit some of these players are. Because that was awful from Nibs. Cowan gets on the end of it. And Hall can clear downfield. I'm going to have to check to see we're on still on key highlights, because how on earth are we seeing all this? It's been a minute and a half of nonsense. It's eventually out to the right though. Spennymoor creating a grandstand finish, are they? To the byline, into the back post. Bramble wins it as far as Bilham. He gets it to Midgley. Cross the box, there it is. 3-2, it was inevitable. And now we've got to really think. I think I want to play out from the back, but I know that we're going to get caught out doing that. So I'm just going to hold our shape when we win the ball. What else can we do to waste time? I don't think we can do anything. Normally I'd play for set pieces, but this is one of the few teams it doesn't seem to work against. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Can we hold on? It's been a thriller that we didn't expect. And into 6 minutes of stoppage time, we've got a set piece and Spennymoor are coming forward. Please just let us nick an ugly goal on the counter. Carnew's come on for his debut. It's not been a great occasion for him to come on, but he's looked really poor as well. As McCarthy goes to Williams. Back to his keeper Hall. Lovely composure there, but it's just going back to them. Everett can't get there. I was going to take him off earlier. I'm glad I didn't, as Cowan wins it back to Williams. To Sweeney. Here is Everett. Can he release Carnew? He's not playing on the shoulder. It's the first thing I'd expect from an advance forward, and it's what our others do. It's back to the keeper again, and Hall will just hoof it away. It really isn't working though. Carnew chases that one. Gets there first on the left-hand side. Can he create something special? Back to Everett. It wasn't a best pass, but Everett gets there. To the back post to Harvey Nibs. He's up with the header. And it's just over the bar. Stays 3-2. 3 minutes of stoppage time to go. I think we're going to hold on. What a win that is. Wasn't a great second half performance. In fact, we really struggled. But Jake McCarthy, an unsung hero, getting the winner. And we stay top of the league. That's all we can ask for. Let's go and have a look at when we'll next be back. Injury problems. Lewis Banks out for at least a month. Jaden Sweeney only a shorter one, but it's leaving us a little short of fullbacks going towards the end of the season, and they're two of the positions where we work hardest. Adabomi almost getting his goal bonus. He's deserved it for his recent form. However, the good news is other results have gone our way. We are now 3 points clear at the top of the league. Of course, this was our game in hand. At the weekend, Crawley were held to a 0-0 draw away at Spennymoor, who we played today. And you've got to question after those two performances how they're in 21st place, because they look a brilliant side. Let's have a look at the schedule though for when we're going to be back. Of course, if there's no job offers and job interviews in the meantime. And I think it's got to be those final two games. I might even, depending on what sort of news there is off the pitch, just come back for a triple header, because Chesterfield are up there 2 in 4th. We've got a nice little spell now, and then our run-in is the sides in 4th, 6th and 2nd. That is one hell of a final 3 games, a big challenge if we want to get promotion, but will we be prized away from Dover Athletic before then? If you want to find out and you did enjoy this episode, 2 crucial and very narrow victories, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. Of course, a triple header next time might be feature length, so do get yourself prepared for that in a couple of days' time. In the meantime, we're in relegation battles with Hemel Hempstead. There's Cricket 22 up in the eye above as well. But a big thank you for watching. Your continued support as always. It is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you next time for what should be a thrilling climax to the National League season.